All right. I'd like to welcome you to another episode of How I Came Into the Truth.
Thanks for having me, bro.
All right, you're welcome, man. Thank you for coming through to share your story with us.
Yes, sir.
So we're gonna get started. Let's take it back all the way to the beginning. So now you're originally from Atlanta, right?
Yes, sir. Southwest Atlanta, born and raised.
Okay. So how you like Atlanta, man?
I love it. You know, it's all I do know. Well, it's not all I know. My dad is from LA, so I spend time out there and stuff like that. But ain't nothing like Atlanta.
Well, I've had a chance to live in different places, and I must honestly say that after I came to Atlanta and got settled, that's it. I don't want to go nowhere else.
Right.
I see other places, like I like to go visit, but it's not too long after that I'll be like, man, we need to get back to Atlanta. It ain't like I'm going to do anything. I just want to get back home because I just like the vibe in the city, period. You know what I'm saying? Just the surrounding areas and everything. So you kind of seen the change from what Atlanta used to be, as far as, you know, like a close-knit country type city at the same time. You saw that change?
Right. Yep.
Okay.
95. I got memory from 95, 96. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, there's a lot done changed over the decades.
Okay. Yeah, a lot of people talk about that, especially around 95, 96. I think the Olympics came.
Yep. Exactly. That's how I remember it so vividly. And my auntie was in high school still, and you know, I just got a good fond memory of it.
Right.
You know?
Right.
Yes, sir. Wouldn't change it.
So how do you like it now compared to back in the day when it wasn't so crowded?
Yeah. Just with the crowd and with the industry, you know what I'm saying, and everybody want to come here to take off, you know what I'm saying, and just with the, you already know, with the homosexuality and stuff like that, it's definitely gonna put a different spin on it. But Sarah asked me all the time, you know, would you move? And I'll just be like, I'm too rooted. I'm too rooted here. All my friends, my family here, you know. Can't imagine living nowhere else. With all the bad, I still prefer it.
Yeah, well, you'll definitely see a difference. When you move from here, you'll definitely see a difference, which is one reason I say I always try to get back. Because I noticed the difference, especially with the racial disparity between, compared to other cities and other states. Just in Atlanta and the surrounding areas alone, we do see a lot of Hebrews that happen to have some type of power or very strong influence, and a lot of times that does trickle down to people like us.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
I can see what you mean.
As opposed to living in other places, especially places like Florida, it's not really, you really don't have these opportunities. You know. So you come up in a household of four, right? As far as the kids are concerned, it was four siblings, or
yes.
Five total?
Four siblings.
Four total.
I'm the oldest of four. Kristen, David, Serene. The longest gap is 15 years. It's a 15-year gap between me and Serene.
That's the baby. Oh, okay. Okay.
Yep.
So how was it seeing that you were probably about 9 to 10 years older than the next one, Christine?
I was 13 when David was born. I was 7 when Kristen was born.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So it's a 7-year gap.
7-year gap.
Okay. So up until that time, you were mainly coming up by yourself?
Yeah. I got a cousin. He was born in 96. So he was kind of, around, but I didn't live with, he lived with my grandmother. So when I got around, 7, 8 years old, I moved with my dad. So I kind of had him. He was like kind of my little brother. We was close. My cousin Ken, he came up here one time, like a couple years ago. He came because Kristen was up here. I think he came and picked Kristen up. So yeah, that's my dog. He was at the wedding. He had the blue dreads.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's my cousin Ken. So we kind of grew up together, got baby pictures together and stuff like that. But when we got older, we kind of just
drifted.
Yeah.
Okay. That usually happens. But also, while we're at it, I definitely want to congratulate you on being married.
Oh, appreciate you, man.
You know what I'm saying?
Great blessing.
Yeah, absolutely, man. A lot of people don't really understand the value of marriage which is why they push being single, you know, but coming into the word, you know, getting married, especially at a young age, you know, it just kind of showed that the Lord is turning us back to his word.
Yeah,
as opposed to fornication and
right.
adultery, you know. Right. Like you say, it's better to marry than to burn.
Right.
You know, so to see that, man, I want to congratulate you, man.
Thank you. Appreciate you.
You're absolutely welcome. Because in this world we live in, man, you know, it's not really looked upon as a great thing.
Right.
But in God's eyes, that's what matters. So congratulations once
Thank
again,
you, man.
Absolutely. So now you said that you live with your father, right?
Yes, sir.
Now I need to make sure this is straight. I think that might be it right there. Okay. All right. So now you went with your father, I think you said around 7 or 8, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, but I did notice that you said you were pretty good. You know, well, you're kind of mischievous as a child, right? Until Pops got involved.
Yeah.
So what do you mean by that?
Just from pre-K to about first grade, I lived with Nana. I lived with my mom.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I wasn't bad, like hitting folks and cussing and stuff, but I was just active, always breaking something, spilling something, you know, just running around, don't want to take naps at nap time. You know, I remember those things vividly, you know what I'm saying? And so my dad, he was living in California. He was kind of back and forth because he actually was training to be a police officer. But when I was born, he said he changed that whole mindset, you know, because he was just like, I don't want to be locking up black brothers, you know, when I have a black brother right here. He told me that straight up, you know.
Wow.
So he went a 180 and started getting his teacher certification, you know.
Is that right?
Mm-hmm. So he's been a teacher for about 23 years now. So
so it went from, so his mentality before he had you, he was training to become a police officer.
Yeah.
And then when he had you, it just changed his whole mentality.
Yeah, because he went to Clark, Atlanta, so he was going to be APD.
Wow. So he ended up becoming a school teacher?
Yep.
Is that right?
Yep.
But so, I mean, and actually that's a better way to help.
Exactly. That's exactly what he said. Yep.
Yeah, because we have police out there, you know what I'm saying?
Plenty.
You don't want to do things that get under their radar, but at the same time, man, you know, teaching kids and being examples, and especially male role models. You know what I'm saying? So,
everybody in the cab know my dad.
Is that right?
Everybody. Yep.
Wow.
Yeah.
So how long were you out in LA?
I never lived there permanently. You know, we would just, the longest I probably stayed there for vacation was probably 2.5 months. We would go there for the summer.
For the summer and come back?
Yep.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Wow. So how was that? You know, I guess with the tug of war in a sense, and not necessarily a tug of war. I'm just saying, you know, going out with dad, coming back to this side with mom, going back out with dad, like the leaving part.
Right. Shoot, I would cry when it was time to leave LA.
Is that right?
Yeah, you know, especially in my younger days, like I would it's so different, you know, and I'd just be down there chilling. Then one day it'll just be time to go, and I'd just be so mad because I got cousins down there, and my grandparents, both of my grandparents still alive down there. You met my grandmother from LA at the wedding, but my granddad, he's alive, but he's taking care of my great grandmother. She's still alive. That's why he wasn't able to make it to the wedding.
Okay, speaking of your grandmother, the one that's from LA, the one that was at the wedding, you do know she came up to me, right?
For real?
Yeah.
What?
She was thanking me. She was like, she said, I don't know what it is. She said, but whatever you are doing, just keep doing the same thing, because whatever you did, it really changed my grandson.
Wow. Praise
you know
the
what
Lord.
I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
So I definitely appreciated that compliment, but it's all the Lord, you know, and just to see, you know, the younger brothers coming up like this and you teaching and stuff like that, it's amazing to me.
Yeah, it is.
You know,
it's a true miracle.
Yeah, absolutely, man. But you know, Grandma, she did come holler at me though.
That's what's up, man. I didn't know that.
Yeah,
That's what's
she
happening.
did. She did, man. So, you know, the work ain't in vain.
No.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So how was it coming up, you know, I guess just school in general, where you because I see you play sports.
Yeah, I was heavy in sports.
Now, did that start around that age? When you was
immediately.
being
Yep, as soon as my dad got me, hit it. You know, I started playing football in my third grade. Yep, that was my first year, and that always kept me balanced. You know, I learned responsibility early. You know, because you still got to do your homework. We weren't getting out of practice till about 8:39 some days, you know, in park ball. So I had to learn to balance that early.
So how was that?
It was rough. I ain't even gonna lie. At the time, it was a lot of times it'd be like, I don't even want to do this no more, you know. But on them Saturdays, on game days, I'd be like, you know what, this what's up. I can do this,
right?
You know.
So how long did you like stay in sports?
Till high school.
High school.
To my senior year.
So that kind of kept you grounded.
Yep.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Okay.
I wish I could have went on, but I was just kind of so burnt out, you know, and I just wanted to do something different.
Right.
You know, so I just hung up my cleats. I really regret it. I really shouldn't have. I should have played a couple more years, you know, in college. That probably would have kept me more grounded in college because I lost my head in college. We'll get to that later.
Well, I mean, when you think about it, so of course the Lord has his reasons for everything, you know what I'm saying? But, you know, those injuries, man, they definitely come around later on.
Yeah, my senior year, I thought I had broke my back at one point. I had a contusion in it, but when I tell you I thought I had broke my back, it was excruciating. You know
still
what I mean?
wanted to play.
Yep.
Really?
I still wanted to play. Yeah, we was the #1 defense at the state in the time, so we had a lot of publicity and stuff like that. So
yeah, well, like I say, man, those injuries they linger on later on down the line, you know, and in the moment it kind of feels, you know, it feels like, man, I can keep going, but the Lord see things ahead of time, you know, because now, Lord willing, man, Lord use you to preach his gospel.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Right.
And then on top of that, you know, you can have a good quality of life because people don't really show that. You know, they don't really show like the downside sometimes. There's so many people getting hurt in those areas, but for the Lord to pull you out of that, hey man, it's just his plan.
That's what it is, yep.
You know?
Yep.
You know, so coming up as a young man or from a boy to a man, now I see you weren't involved in church activities, right?
No.
You weren't, but did you guys go to church?
Yeah, we went to church. It's funny because from about kindergarten to about 4th, 5th grade, my mom, my auntie, and my grandma, we was going to church almost every Sunday. They used to go to Word of Faith over there at
That's Bronx.
Bronx.
Yeah.
And I always had something in me, you know. I always get touched, no matter how, you know, mischievous I was being, no matter how much I was not want to be with my dad a lot when I was younger. I had a beef about that in my heart. I didn't want to live with my dad. He too hard on me, you know.
When did that mentality pick up? Like your teenage years?
Yeah, I want to say 13, 14.
Okay. So now what do you mean you say he was hard?
Discipline, you know, he ain't play no games. Thank God. You know, that's what I'm bringing here today.
Right?
You know, right. He just didn't play no games. He was on my books. You know, you're gonna be on your books. You're gonna be out the street.
Wow.
Like he was real strict. I can go to no parties and none of that like that. You know what I'm saying? So he was for a reason.
So you really had, it's just like another brother I was interviewing. I think he's on the screen right now, Brother Jair. It sounds like both of y'all childhood was somewhat similar, comparing it to Boys in the Hood. And I don't know if you ever saw that.
Yeah.
But you remember Cuba Gooding Jr. had to go stay with his dad, and his dad wasn't playing.
Yep.
You know.
That's the exact scenario.
Wow. Okay. So you say it was kind of tough.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, he was tough on me.
So now that was
and by the way, he a teacher, so when I was in middle school, he worked at my middle school. So I couldn't get away with nothing.
Wow.
Yep. The slightest little blip, my teachers be on him. Wow. You know, yep.
So how was he? So how was he like as far as church? Now he's not like he's not somebody like, you know, like somebody that is, I guess, pushing it on you all the time.
Absolutely. Yeah. He wasn't really on any type of religion growing up. You know, he will always instill in me, you know, don't lie, don't steal, don't cheat. He's always say that.
Right.
What's the big 3? Don't lie, don't steal, don't cheat. You know, he's instilled that in me. But yeah, he never pushed any type of religion on me. You know, I remember my dad, he used to get sick real bad. So when I was in the 4th grade, he had got a spinal infection on his spine, and it caused him to go paralyzed. So he was paralyzed for like a year. It's really a miracle that he walking right now. Had to have surgery on his spine. They had to scrape off the infection to the bone. And
you talking about your dad? That was at the wedding? You can't tell nothing was ever wrong.
Right,
man.
right. When I was in the 4th grade, he's had 3 major life. You know what I'm saying?
Life surgeries or whatever. Really.
But we went to church one time. I remember after he got out the hospital, we went to church one time. You know, and I remember thinking like, oh, that's what's up. You know what I mean? So he has an idea because like even at the hospital, my mom and my grandma, they used to go up there and pray for him and put their hands on him. You know what I'm saying? So he kind of got an idea.
Okay. We still rolling, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So I guess I would have to assume most of your upbringing in church, that was probably over here with mom and nana and stuff like that. So you went to Word of Faith, right? And how was that? Matter of fact, how old were you? Like, were you guys going to Word of Faith for a long time, or?
You could say we was kind of on and off. You know, we was kind of on and off. I remember going to the plays and stuff, but like up to my teenage years, to about 12 years old, and just went cold turkey. We didn't go like none of my teenage years, none of my adult years. I remember being in one of my ex-girlfriends. I was probably like 19, and we went to the little Easter play up there. So that was probably the last day I was up there. That was what, 2011, 2012.
Okay, and that was, and at this time you were how old?
20.
20. So this is after high school.
Yeah.
You get out of high school, don't go play ball, but you do go to college. And I think you said that's where you wished you had played football to kind of keep your head a little level.
Yeah.
So what was going on in college that
the same thing that I was going through when I was a teenager. I kind of suffered with, you could say, mental challenges, you know, depression, and you know what I'm saying, I wouldn't eat for days, you know what I'm saying, stuff like that. Just depression, you could say. I used to suffer with a lot.
Or just being a teenager.
Yeah.
Going through going through that I guess that change.
Yeah.
From boy to man. Now, where was your father at this time? He was still in LA?
No, he's been here the whole time. He's been here.
No, I'm saying, was he back in Atlanta?
Yes, yeah, he was back in Atlanta by now.
So by the time you become a teenager, he's here?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I've been living with him from 3rd grade on up. From 3rd grade to graduation. That's when he permanently got here.
Oh, okay. So you mainly been with your father all this time?
Yeah, I moved with him. Like, we lived in East Atlanta.
That's why
all those years.
That's why you kind of got you settled.
Yeah.
You could tell.
Yeah.
Wow, that's amazing. I didn't know that.
Yeah, yes, sir.
I didn't know that.
Yep.
I thought you know, just like you say, LA, and then you know how some fathers just be in and out, but you stayed with your dad, and that explains the calmness.
Yeah, he made that decision to move permanently, take care of me, come down here.
That's amazing.
Yep.
Yeah, so that should be definitely you know, like a bar for you to be able to measure your
absolutely
life by.
right.
You know what I'm saying?
I got some shoes to fill.
Right, absolutely. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So just going through that change from, you know, boy to man and kind of dealing with mental issues, were you trying to like find yourself or something around that time?
Trying to fit in. You know, I've never fit in. I know why now, you know, just dealing with the word and stuff, you know.
Right.
But I was always just trying to fit in, and, you know, I was always quiet and never really interacted well, you know what I'm saying? So it was just hard trying to find my niche, you know, just trying to find where to fit in.
And that's why you say your weakness would be like the social skills or whatever?
Yep.
So now, well, how could it be like that playing football?
That's a good question. I've been asked that before. It's just something about, that's why I never played basketball fully. I played a couple of years, but I just something about my anxiety back then, you know, I would just have anxiety about everybody looking at me, you know what I'm saying? They could see my face like this big old crowd, you know, but with the helmet, you know what I'm saying? And just going in on the field, you know, I ain't really worried about the crowd like that. You know, as the years go on, I kind of practiced that, you know.
Okay.
Yeah, that was something I always, kind of to this day, you know, suffer with crowds, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Being able to perform in front of people, you know.
Right.
Yes, sir.
Well, that's I think that's a good reason why we have that Bible in plain view.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
To kind of get you acquainted with people.
Yep, it's a great tool.
Yeah, because it's definitely a task standing in front of people, you know, but those right there, those little avenues like that help you get, you know, a little more comfortable.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
So by the time it's time for you to really stand up,
Yeah.
you should be good
Yeah.
and relaxed and
That's
ready
the
to
plan.
go. You
Yep.
know, but praise God for that.
Yes, sir.
So at this point, you know, having trouble with social skills, kind of mentally challenged, I guess. You know, not crazy or nothing, but that can play tricks on you when you want to fit in and you just can't find that niche, right?
Yep.
So what did end up happening during that time?
Let's see. In 2013, that's when the change happened. From 2010 to 2013, I was in school. You know,
You graduated when you got out of school.
I got
high
out
school.
in 2010.
Okay.
Started freshman year, college, 2010.
Gotcha.
And I was just suffering with the same thing to the point where I just check myself in at the clinic up there. I was just like, something wrong with me. Like,
Where were you at?
I was at University of West Georgia in Carrollton.
Oh, so you had left. So you was about 50 miles away from home.
Yep.
Oh,
And
wow.
I just couldn't function. Like, I didn't want to go to class. I didn't want to eat again. I didn't want to come in my room, you know? And I went to the
Was
clinic.
that homesick?
You could kind of
Did you have
chalk
a
it up
car?
as that. No, I didn't have a car.
Oh, so you kind of stuck.
Yeah, but I could have got home anytime. I had a friend from high school that went there as well.
Right.
But just the same thing I had always suffered with in my life, you know, just anxiety and depression over one reason or another, you know, and
Right.
so in 2013, we had this, me and Obi. I met Obi in 2012. That's my
Okay.
homie.
Uh-huh.
And we had another friend, Jonathan. And in 2013, he had some sort of mental breakdown. Like, we don't know what it was, but that day, me and Obi and him in his room, and basically he kind of just lose his mind and he tried to like jump out the window. I'm talking about literally jump out the window. He opened it and his body was out the window. We on the second floor, by the way, too. So me and Obi, we holding him by his body and hosted him back in. So when
Y'all
all
caught
that,
him? Did y'all
yeah,
catch
we
him?
caught him. My body was out the window. His body was completely out the window.
I'm saying y'all like caught him as he jumped out.
Yep. I was holding his body and Obi was holding my legs. My body was almost completely out the window. It was nothing but God, you know what I'm saying, that was giving us strength to do this. I kid you not. So when that happened, me and Obi was like, something spiritual was going on behind this. You know what I mean? Like, Obi had always had, you know, a little spiritual background, and I kind of did, so we knew something was deeper behind this scenario, you know? And when that had happened, you know, I just started just praying more. You know, I'm telling about, I ain't never been spiritual like that, especially my adulthood, you know? But when that happened, that just scared the heck out of us so bad. Like, we just started switching our whole moves up, you know? We weren't going out like that no more. I mean, we used to be in the town, you know what I'm saying? And we just mellowed all that out. And in 2013, I called myself going home. I was like,
Did the guy live? He's still alive?
Yeah, Jonathan.
Is that right?
Yeah, Jonathan
That's
Dean.
cool.
We've been trying to get, that's our dog
Well,
too.
he alive?
Yeah,
Praise
he
the
in the
Lord.
Army. He pretty successful, you know. We
Right,
wish he would
okay.
get in the word. We try our best, you know, but
Right.
yeah,
Y'all did save him at that point. Lord
and to
saved him.
this day, we don't know what exactly was that about. You know what I'm saying? To this day. But we knew the Lord was working, you know, and I even remember we used to watch the news and stuff, me and Obi, and we remember when in North Korea, when they first started popping off, you know, they first started threatening people and stuff. And I remember Obi being like, you know, like, this is in the Bible, you know, there's wars and rumors of wars and stuff like that. And I never heard anything in that nature, you know what I'm saying? So it was just something in my head, you know? I just started thinking more and just like, what exactly is going on with the world and stuff like that. So in 2013 still, April 13th to be exact, my little sister, Kristen, we were just talking, just randomly. We were just talking about different things, and we started talking about the Lord some type of way and talking about God and stuff. And to this day, I don't understand completely how it happened, just like with Jonathan, but I know it happened. Like, Kristen was 13 at the time, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay.
And out the blue, she just started talking about, yeah, it's the end of days. Like, we living in the last days. Like, I've never really heard anyone say that. Even coming up in the church, that's how you know how shady they really is. Being in Word of Faith for all these years, like, I never heard of end days, tribulation, Armageddon, none of those type. You know what I'm saying? But I had kind of an idea because my mom used to watch Left Behind and stuff like that. So I kind of had a little idea. But when Kristen was speaking that night, something just flipped in me. I'm talking about immediately. Like, when she was speaking, and the last thing she told me was, she was like, oh yeah, and the Pope, yeah, he the Antichrist. When she did that.
Now, wait a minute. How old was Kristen?
Kristen was 13.
She was 13.
She was 13.
And this is what came out of her mouth.
Absolutely.
Out of her mouth.
April 13, 2013. I'll never forget it. So when she said that, something just changed in me, like, immediately. It was like in the middle of the night too. I'm talking, it was like 2 a.m. We was just talking all night long, you know what I'm saying? It was like 2 a.m. And I was just like, you know what, I gotta get right. Like, this is it. Like, something in me just changed. Like, I gotta get ready.
And at this point, you're 20.
Yeah, I was 20 years old.
Okay.
Yep, I was 20, and it just set me on a path immediately. You know, I know it's been no one but God, because I didn't plan it at all. Like, I was at the peak of my foolishness, really. You know what I'm saying? I was still doing dirt, you know. I was dabbling in drugs, you know what I'm saying? And I just wasn't headed in no right direction at all, you know? Right. So for the Lord to have stepped in like that, it was nobody but him, you know? And I just did a complete 180. Like, I didn't even go back to school. Like, I was kind of
You might have been almost finished with school at that
Yeah,
point,
pretty much, but I never finished.
Right.
I never
You
finished.
at least put in 2 years, right?
Yeah. I should have, but at the time, I ain't know what to do. You know,
well,
I ain't really have no
understand.
guide, you know what I'm saying, in that category, you know?
Right.
So, yeah, man, from April 13, 2013, that set me on the path that I'm on today. You know, with those, I almost owe everything to Kristen, you know? Because it was her words. You know, my mom done talked to me about God, and my grandmother and stuff like that. But when she said those things that day, I was like, I gotta get ready.
So where did she get it from?
I have no clue.
Like has she been studying or anything?
Nope.
And that's what came out of her
Absolutely
mouth?
not. Yep.
Yeah, man. That's like not calling her a donkey. But I'm saying, like, the Lord spoke through the mouth of that donkey.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it just goes to show you he'll use anybody.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? And
she was 13.
If she wasn't studying it, then clearly, because Satan ain't gonna say it.
Exactly.
You see what I'm
my
saying?
point.
Yeah,
Right.
Satan not gonna come out and say that. You know, that's
my
like
point.
a house. That's like a house divided against itself. Why would he tell you that to help you?
Exactly.
But the Lord would definitely do that.
Absolutely.
That's amazing.
Absolutely.
Man.
We was at my grandmother's house.
Wow.
You know, and it just, a light bulb, a switch, whatever in my head and I was like, oh snap, like, I gotta get ready, you know? So it's funny because that in itself sent me into another depression, you know?
Wait, were you about to come out of that one?
Kinda, you know, I was not just that.
I was getting settled.
I was comfortable in my life, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, I didn't plan on living right.
Right.
So when it was time, I didn't know where to start.
Right.
You know, that was kind of depressing to me, you know, like I didn't know where to begin, you know? So like a lot of people, I just turned on TBN, you know? I was like, I gotta start somewhere. I ain't even had no Bible yet. I ain't even own no Bible. I ain't even read no chapter in the Bible my whole life. I haven't, you know. So
what did you find yourself like doing? I guess, like you say, you turn on TBN, but inside your mind, like I'm sure it had to be questions.
Yeah,
you know,
when is it? That was a big question. When is it going? When is it happening? You know. So of course, that question, I started looking for stuff. It was probably 2014 when I kind of discovered YouTube. You know. like the first year, I kind of just sat in depression. My folks got worried about me. Like they thought I didn't want to live no more and stuff like that. So they started putting me on heavy medication and stuff like that. At one point, I was taking like 5-6 medicines at a time, a day.
And you're 20 years old at this time, probably going on 21, something like that.
I was going on 21 that year.
So now, was this reaction by them? Were those measures taken? Was it because of the previous mental issues you were dealing with?
They combined that
Is that
with
what it did?
He talking about the end of days and all this.
Right.
Like they kind of took that as, because they kept saying it. Oh, so you just want to die? Like, no, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying it's the end of days.
So you was really like, you really trying to cry out.
Right.
Almost like a warning.
Right.
So by the world, not just your people, but by the world being so blind to it, they look at that as he tripping.
I couldn't have said it better myself. Yep.
And they put you on medication.
Yep. Put me on heavy meds. So
oh my goodness.
The meds jacked me up even more. They put me in this.
It does.
Yeah. I could testify to that. Like.
So what happened with that?
I got to a point where in 2014, it was around fall time. It was around September. I was like, y'all, because we had already been going back and forth. I was kind of living at Nana's house at the time, and we was already kind of going back and forth. She'll give me my medication. I'll kind of not take it. I'll throw it over there. They'll figure out I wasn't taking it, so they hit me with well, if you're gonna live in this house, you're gonna have to take your medication. If you don't want to take your medication,
that was an ultimatum.
Yep. So I was like, okay, cool. Called up Obi. What's up, bro? You still down there in West Georgia? He was like, yeah, I'm going through all this. He was like, hey man, come stay with me, bro.
Get out of here.
Come stay with me. You ain't gotta worry about nothing. So I got there around, I want to say December 2014, and I stayed with him till about April 2015. I owe him to this day because I was real sick when I went cold turkey on him.
Right, so you had withdrawals.
Yep, for about 2 months. For about 2 months I had withdrawals. I was real sick, and he practically nursed me back to health while he was full-time in school, full-time working, and he was nursing me back to health at the same time.
Wow.
Yep.
That's a friend.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I owe him a lot. So in the midst of recuperating, I had a little white Bible that that Nana gave me on the way out the door. She was like, here, I finally cracked it open, read a scripture here, read a scripture there. And, I don't know who I started watching first. I was just watching different scriptures on YouTube, just random pastors, Sunday pastors and stuff. And so I came across the Sabbath. First before anything.
How'd you do that?
I was watching a YouTube video, and that guy must have been like an SDA or something, because he wasn't a Hebrew, but he was explaining the importance of the Sabbath. This was in 2015.
We still rolling, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
This was in 2015, so I latched on to that. All right, cool. I need to keep the Sabbath. So at the time, I just wasn't working. I wasn't doing it full. So I was trying something, and the more months went by, the more I started flipping the books. So I started coming around some SDA guys. Never really just claimed to be an SDA, but I didn't know it was anything else in the world, and I knew they was trying to keep the Sabbath, so I started listening to them. But I give them this. Them SDAs, they taught me on YouTube. I never went into a building. I kind of never went into a building for years. I was doing everything from the house. And they taught me to flip scriptures. Search, get in that book, Old Testament and New. You know what I'm saying? So I kind of learned that skill from them, because they would talk about the Vatican and stuff like that. So, I learned a lot of information from that. They roll in the world.
Right. I could say. Now everything's starting to come full circle. Because from the April 13th, 2013. So now here it is, over a year, almost a year and a half later.
I came across the Sabbath.
So now starting to, what Kristen said, your sister, what she said now is starting to.
Yep.
Now it's starting to come together.
Yep.
Okay.
Absolutely. Like it was blowing my mind. Like I was like, how have I not known this? You know, how did she know this? You know what I'm saying? Right. It was just blowing my mind to this day, the whole time. So just searching the scriptures, listen to a few SDAs here and there. Wouldn't agree with that, but I still listen to you because you trying to keep the Sabbath. I don't know nothing else. But it was the weekend, Mother's Day weekend of 2016. I had this random, I lived on YouTube, you know what I'm saying? All these years
that's when it was starting to take off.
Yeah, from 14, 15, 16, I lived on YouTube. I didn't watch TV. I didn't look at nothing else but searching for different stuff on YouTube, you know? Mother's Day weekend of 2016, I came across just a 15-minute video. And I forgot Buddy name. I think I showed you him a couple years ago. I don't even think he in the truth no more. And he just broke down that fast how we was Hebrew, you know?
The aquaponics guy, I think.
He had glasses.
Yeah, I think
I came across it just randomly on my recommendation. Clicked on it. I'm talking about blown. I was like, I almost fell out my bed because I mean it was late that night, and I was just watching it like, wow, I can't believe this is it. This is it. Wow. This is what I've been searching for all these years. Yep. Because I remember Kristen that night. She used to always be like, "Yeah, we chosen. I remember her saying that night. But you know when she was saying that, you know, I kind of chopped it up as, you know, regular Christian, you know,
right.
We're gonna get raptured, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Right, but knowing that coming to the truth that we were the children of Israel, I let her know. I was like, Kristen, I found what we was looking for.
Oh, wow.
You know? Yep.
That's amazing.
Yep. So, start looking at Hebrews. I came across GOCC first, you know, start listening to them. I was like, the first name doctrine, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
But I'm like, I don't know nothing else. So y'all Hebrews, so I'm gonna have to rock with y'all for a minute.
Right.
But I remember the last one he did, you know, the main dude,
yes.
with the turban.
Yeah.
He was like, you know, Jesus ain't God. That's some Sunday doctrine. Click. I ain't even let him finish that sentence.
Wow.
I was like, this, and then when it's, you know, I was letting stuff slide, you know what I'm saying, the whole time. But now you saying, nah. So it's crazy because I had really put the Hebrew thing down. I had put it down for like 2 weeks. I was like, you ain't gonna come against Jesus. You know, in my head, I know I'm crazy, but I learned that much. You know what I'm saying? So I literally had put it down. I wasn't looking at no Hebrews. I stopped for like 2 weeks. The Lord worked fast. So looking at my recommendations again, if that was Mother's Day 2016 when I found out, this around September 2016. Recommendations. The first video I saw was Elijah. It said, name doctrine heresy. That was the very first lesson I ever watched in the truth. Clicked it.
Are you serious?
This is it. It wasn't even 10 minutes in. I was like, this is it. I'm done. I'm done.
You knew that was it?
Yep.
That's amazing.
Yep, that was around September 2016. Yep.
So now that you came in, right? Because now the journey starts. What were some of the things you ran into as soon as you came in? Dietary law.
Dietary law. He made it so plain, you know, he was so adamant about it. I was like, whew, this must be serious. He keeps saying it, you know what I'm saying? Right. So that was cut. Say no more. I'm done. You know, just trying to get a grip of that. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, that was probably the hardest obstacle.
Well, going from being crazy, you know, coming from family, right? How did you know, by you coming into the Word now, which is absolutely against the norm,
right?
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So in addition to you're already being considered somewhat mental because of all the medication they were giving you, right? And then you doing this right here, which goes against tradition,
right?
You know what I'm saying? Which is absolutely against Nana and mom and pops and stuff like that. How did they look at you at that point?
They saw the change, especially my granddad, you know.
Well, immediately.
Yeah, not immediately.
Right, immediately. Like immediately when you start dealing with that. Because I know over time you'll adjust to it.
Yeah.
But like when you first started that, did it kind of leave you alone? Or
oh, no, it was a bad reaction. You know, it was a bad reaction, you know. How you know that? How you know this? You know what I'm saying? And, you know, kicking it gets like...
Oh, it was.
I remember the first Thanksgiving I tried to go against, also in 2016. So I was just like, I don't want to eat the food. I don't want to eat it.
Well,
I just took my stand.
Well, you was staying.
I was staying with Nana. That was the challenge.
Oh, you was back with Nana?
Yeah. I was at Nana's house at this time.
Wow.
So I was like, I don't want to eat Thanksgiving food. You know? So that was a big stir. And I remember when Christmas came around, right? She would be bringing little Christmas decorations into my room, and I'll take them out. She'll bring them in, I'll take them out. Yo, you can't, don't say, this is my house, and such. So it's funny, right? Because she had a little reindeers and stuff. I'll put a little cloth over it.
Oh, wow.
I was like, I'm done with this. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Right, so you knew that was it.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I had learned that fast. Like,
that's amazing.
We gotta cut this paganism out.
Yeah, praise God for that.
Yes, sir.
Sometimes some people let it linger on a little bit.
Yeah.
You know, so what obstacles did you run into, like, once you came in?
When I came in?
Yeah. Because, you know, you have to make decisions. Like, I can't work on Saturday, right?
Right, major decision.
I can't do the dietary law. I can't do this. I can't do that, which is things that the Lord has set up to help us. You know what I'm saying? But the world don't see it that way.
Right,
so,
right.
Any kickback?
Just a job here and there. You know, nothing too bad, you know. Just a job here and there. I remember the first Feast of Tabernacles that I celebrated. The very first one in 2017. That's why I got here in 2017. My job called me. I believe Tabernacles, the first day was like a Wednesday that year, and they wanted me to come in on that Wednesday. I was like, I can't do it. Can I come in Thursday? So that was my first little taste of that.
Right.
Like, I was like, well, I guess I ain't gonna have it. And I think I called you too. I think I had called you. Was like, I was like, Nate, man. They didn't want me to work, right? And you was just like, oh, praise the Lord. I ain't get it, but I get it now. Like, yeah, them stripes.
Yeah, them stripes, man.
Yeah.
Like, you trying to get them in the battlefield,
right.
Man. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
Praise God for that, because that comes with the territory.
Yeah.
You know, it's absolutely completely opposite of what we're accustomed to. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're more so accustomed to getting along with everybody, everybody, for the most part, kumbaya with the Christmas, with Thanksgiving, the Easter, tradition.
Right.
And that's probably why you felt out of place coming up, from a young man.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because I was out of place myself. I ain't even lie.
Word.
I was the more vocal one. I was definitely somebody that questioned everything. You know what I'm saying? So that right there that's already like a strike against you as a person. You know what I'm saying? And it just so happened that it grew as I grew up and got older. Those questions became more and more vocal.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I knew right then and there I'm the black sheep, but I wasn't really the black sheep. I just felt like the black sheep. And I see why now, because the Lord kind of like molds you in a sense. Not everybody,
exactly. Right.
But a lot of people I've talked to dealing with the word, it's almost like immediately there was a problem in life somewhere. And once they came into the word, they understood why the problem existed. It's like the Lord was molding you for this right here, So,
right.
Like I said, that's a part of it, being able to actually look back and see that, man, I didn't fit in.
Right. Right.
And a lot of that is not knowing who you are. You have these questions and nobody can answer. So once you get to the word and you start getting those answers, it's other things in the Bible, right? That's very important. And one of the most important things in the Bible is who the children of Israel are.
Right.
which happen to be the Negroes, black people that have been sold into worldwide captivity, and also are slaves throughout this whole world. These are God's chosen people. So 2013, when Kristen told you that we were chosen, right? All right, so here it is, almost 4 years later, you come here, or before you even walk into the building, you start getting understanding about who we are as, you know, the people in the Bible, right? How did that help you? What did it do for you to actually see in the Bible that this was talking about you?
It gave me purpose, you know what I'm saying? It gave me purpose for years. I didn't know what I wanted to do, you know? Like, it just gave me every purpose.
Right.
Like, I can't put it in no other way. Like, I just knew, like, yeah, this is what I'm supposed to be doing, you know? Like, however whatever path this lead me down, I know I'm supposed to be here, doing this, you know? Like, I can't even put in words how much it helped my life, you know?
Right.
Like, that's how with my folks, I was kind of always, you know, a little hothead, you know what I'm saying? Just like me and my sister. So my folks saw that coming down.
Oh, okay.
Like, I'm less.
So now it's starting to impact your life.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so you finding out with Israel, that's going to answer a lot of questions, right? It's going to answer a lot of questions. In turn, it's going to calm you down.
Yep.
Wow.
Yep.
Explain that.
I was real wrathful, you know? Wrath, just.
Angry.
I just had a chip for a long time for some reason, you know, for one reason or another, dealing with my mom's situation and, you know, my dad, you know, I just had this chip, you know, so it was a relief to be able to just let all that stuff go.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it's a greater purpose now. You
Right.
know? We gotta get to our, you know, our job, our duty. You know?
Right.
Like, that's what always kept me.
So it became real to you.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
That's amazing, man.
Oh yeah.
Wow.
Yep. And I gotta credit my brothers, Obi, Collis, Craig. Like, they have helped me every step of the way. You know what I'm saying? Like, they ain't kicked against me at all.
Wow.
Like, anytime I bring something to them, they be like, oh, word. Like, I think I need to look into that too. You know what I'm saying?
Now, it's funny you say that, because people who watch this interview don't know or have don't understand I guess the measures you went through. You know what I'm saying? Because your journey, like, coming into the Word, you kind of like went the New World Order route somewhat also.
Yep. That's one of the first things I started seeing. You know, that was in 2014, right before I found out about the Sabbath. It's crazy how that led to that, you know?
Yeah, keep digging.
Anytime, because it'd just be on the recommendation. I would never type it in, like, what's the Sabbath? I never did that. It was just right there, you know? So, yeah, that's exactly how I got kick-started, you know what I'm saying? Like, because I didn't know nothing about it. Growing up, I ain't know nothing about all this, you know what I'm saying? Freemasons and all this stuff. Like, I didn't know nothing about it. So that intrigued me. That taught me to dig, like you were saying. That taught me to dig more, keep digging. Yep.
And that's what, and what made me bring that up is because talking about, you know, Craig, Collis, Obi.
Yeah, we used to talk about those things, you know?
Yeah,
we would talk about how it's going to go down. Yep.
Like, they came in based on what you were studying.
Yep.
You know, here it is. You came in, right? And I can't remember who you came with. It was, I think,
I came with Obi.
With Obi, right?
The first day.
Yeah, first day you came. But this journey you took, you know, of searching, it brought like 4 more people in.
Absolutely. Yep.
Wow. So it like changed the dynamics of how y'all were doing things.
Right.
Completely changed it.
Yep.
Wow.
I could not have imagined this 8-9 years ago. You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
Yep.
So it didn't just impact your life, it also impacted their lives and their family. Now Obi's married. You know what I'm saying? His wife is in the Word. You know what I'm saying? And then you got Collis is at church now. Craig, you know, we seen, matter of fact, he was here a few weeks ago.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah, I done seen him 2 times in like the past, 2 months?
Since the wedding. Yep.
Yeah, since the wedding, you know. You know, so it just go to show how, you know, one person breach break it, and next thing you know, man, sometimes it'll bring the crew in. And
Right.
That's exactly what it did.
Yep.
You know, that's definitely a blessing.
Yes,
man.
sir, it is.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm blessed.
So overall, looking at your life, you know, if you were able to put it in words, how would you say the word has impacted your life?
Put it in words.
Mhm.
The word has simply renewed my mind. You know, it has renewed my mind, put it on a whole nother thought pattern. You see, I'm 29. You know, I didn't plan on getting married and having a family and stuff like that.
Right.
It was being in the word that helped me understand, you know, the value of that, really.
Wow.
You know,
Wow.
just growing. Yeah, I had my grandparents and I had my dad, but you know, it didn't sit into, you know, seeing it in the word like this is, we got to build a nation.
Wow.
You know.
And that goes back to seeing yourself in the Bible, because you understanding the scriptures, seeing yourself, it should help you understand the Bible a whole lot more.
Right, absolutely.
You know.
Absolutely.
And then also the responsibility that come with it. But yeah, you're right, man. Like you can sit down in the word now and look at it and realize what's important to God.
Yep.
You know, as opposed to what the world got going on.
Right.
You know, so that's definitely amazing, because like you say, you're 29, man, I got a family, you know what I'm saying?
I
up
could
here.
not picture this.
Yeah.
None of
Right.
this would have been possible without the word.
Right. Yeah, and that's it. That's the word. Wife's in the word.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Y'all moving along perfectly fine according to the word, like you're supposed to.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you're gonna have different things that happen inside marriage, but
Right,
you know
absolutely.
me, man. It don't matter.
Right.
Work it out.
Yeah.
You know,
Yep.
keep moving. You know,
Yep.
you know, keep moving, man. It's just anything is the reward is always worth fighting for.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? And that's
Absolutely.
what we have to remember. But it's just a blessing to see the younger guys, man, just like taking that position, you know, of trying to please God. You know, so I definitely can see the change just from the time you walked into the church. Sometimes you look at people and be like, well, he gonna be here for a while. He ain't gonna be here that long. He might be here a year or so.
Yeah.
I don't know if he gonna be able to handle this.
Yeah, yeah.
And here it is, look up 4, 5, 6 years later, you're still here.
Yes, sir.
You know?
Oh,
So
yeah.
that word has definitely changed you, man.
Absolutely.
You know, and that's
Absolutely.
good, man. So what about people that are new to the word? What advice would you have for them?
I would say on your darkest day, keep the Sabbath. On your darkest day, I tell people at my job, in my last will and testament, if this is the last conversation I'm having with you, keep God's law and start by keeping his Sabbath. No matter what happens, keep coming to church. Find a church. Keep going to it. That's keeping his law, and it's going to play out.
Yeah.
The Lord is going to take control of the rest.
That's amazing. That's still going?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Yeah, that's definitely that's some great advice, man.
Yes, sir.
You know what I'm saying? Because, you know, I live by that.
Right.
I live by that because it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what's going on. You know, the Sabbath, that was there before our problems came about. You know, the Sabbath, it was there before we were even born.
Right.
It was there before mankind came into the picture. So how is it that, you know, I see in his word to keep the Sabbath, but somehow or another I can find things that please me to overrule what the Lord is saying. You know, so mentally you have to make up in your mind that I'm gonna do what the Lord say. I'm gonna keep the Sabbath, regardless of what happens, and then you're gonna start seeing the Lord bless you. You know what I'm saying?
I appreciate you, man. I remember in 2017, I was probably mad about something, and I didn't want to come to church. You know, I didn't fully grasp Holy Convocation yet. You know what I'm saying? I didn't grasp that yet, you know? But so you called me up. You was like, hey, man, you know where you at? Because I think Kristen had called you, because I think I was mad at her about something. So I was like, I ain't leaving.
Right.
She called you, was like, yeah, I'm trying to come to church. You called me. And I remember you saying, you know, hey, we got to have a Holy Convocation. You know, I ain't going to force you to do nothing, you know, but you need to be in church. That's all. I was like, all right, let me get up. That was the last time I pulled that.
Wow.
Yep.
Try to pull one.
Yeah, I tried it.
I want to stay home. Like, I'm mad. I'm staying to that.
Yep.
Shoot, man. Like, and since you've been here, you notice, man, you can probably notice and see that Sabbath, man, that's a big one, man.
It's big.
That's a big
It's
one.
huge. Yep.
You know, you see people come in, man, they don't mind dealing with the word, But for a lot of people, man, it's hard to hold on to that Sabbath.
Yeah, it
man.
is. It's crazy.
You know, but you know, some people make up in their mind that I'm gonna just have faith regardless, and that's really what it boiled down to. You know, having faith. Man.
Yep.
So, but speaking of faith, what do you think the world would look like if everybody understood the Bible better? You know,
that's a great question.
In opposition to all the different religions that you have out here, you know, if we understood the Bible, right, understood the scriptures, how do you think the world will look as far as the behavior, the actions in the world, wars and fighting and killing and all that type of stuff? How do you think the world would look if they had a better understanding of the scriptures all over the world?
We'd be on the way to our 8th day.
Right?
We'll be almost there. You know what I'm saying? It wouldn't have took this long. You know what I'm saying? Just like I tell my coworkers that, like, we can't expect our brothers and our sons to stop killing each other, you know, if we done took the law off the table, you know? You done made it optional. So everything is optional.
Ooh.
You know, I tell them that straight, especially with Dolph dying, like,
Yeah.
you made it optional.
Made it optional, yeah.
So I don't expect no other results,
Right.
you know?
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll almost be there, bruh. We'll almost be there.
It's funny you say that because when the Lord get back, we gonna see how it's gonna be with the law going forth from Jerusalem.
Yep.
And the thing right after that is the 8th day.
Corner,
you know
corner east to west, the word gonna be. Yep.
Yeah, that's right, man. That's amazing, man. You know, and we just long for that, yearn for that. But it definitely be different.
Yeah.
Definitely be way different than what we got going on now. And
Right.
Lord willing, we'll be able to see that soon if
Right.
we be able to make it in this first resurrection.
Endure to the end. That's my plan.
Absolutely, man.
Yes, sir.
So we down to the last question. And I don't know if you watch these whole interviews, but if you have, you know there's a hot button question that comes at the end. If you haven't, I'm letting you know now there's a hot button question. And the question is not a hot button question. It's just that people read the Bible a lot and they love the whole Bible, right? But by you loving the whole Bible, this question kind of puts you in in a jam a little bit, because I need you to give me what's your favorite book, your favorite scripture, and tell me why.
Okay, my favorite book is Revelation, Book of Revelation.
Okay, so you've been watching these interviews that I do? Is this your favorite book?
I hadn't watched the end. I watched Sydney's and I watched Tiff's. I didn't see the end.
Did you make it to the end? Okay, so you already ready. You already have a favorite book, Revelation.
Yeah.
Okay, why Revelation?
Like, that's where I started diving. I got an idea that Revelation is dealing with something with the end of days. So let me start here. I'm talking about Egyptian hieroglyphics. But you know what? I'm just gonna keep reading. I didn't mention earlier, I spent some time in some mental institutions. It got that bad to where, I would just be so deeply depressed, they would call them on me and they come pick me up.
Hold on. So they were 5150? Is that what they call 50 something? Where they call the crazy people?
Pretty much.
They did that?
Oh, yeah.
How you was over 20 at that time?
I was 20.
And they were still, they were calling people?
That was right at the beginning. You know what I'm saying? So when it was a place called Peachford Institute. It was a straight place, going like old school asylums, But I would just dive in Revelation, dive in it, sitting on my bed, dive in it. I don't know what this means, but I'm gonna keep reading it. I'm just gonna keep reading it until I do understand it. Yeah, that's why I like Revelation.
Now, when you also said in college, sometimes you would just go check yourself in.
Yeah.
Was around that time where you also read Revelation?
No, I didn't have a book at all. Okay. I wasn't biblical at all until after April 13th, 2013.
Oh, okay. So it's kind of like when you got back from West Georgia, that's when you really start getting into it after the evening with you and Christy.
Yep.
Okay, wow. So Revelations, that's your favorite book, right? Okay. What's your favorite scripture?
My favorite scripture, that's hard. I would have to say Matthew 24 as a whole, because it just I was diving into end of days. You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
Just trying to get it. Like, I was just diving into it. Like, Matthew 24, that was my favorite. Like,
well, I'm going to let you go with that since you can't give me one scripture.
Like straight up scripture.
Well, if you don't have one, I understand, because the Bible as a whole,
Yeah,
we love it, you
yeah.
know. So
Okay, in that sense, if I would have to say that, I would have to roll with Ecclesiastes 12:12.
Okay.
You asked me earlier how our purpose. Like when I figured out my purpose, the whole duty of man, to fear God and keep His commandments. For this is the whole duty of man. You know, and every secret thing will be bringing to judgment. Paraphrasing.
Right.
You know, but
yeah. Wow, that's amazing, man. Wow. On this note, though, that Matthew 24, like I tell y'all all the time, that doggone book, Matthew 24, scared the hell out of me, man.
Word.
Because I read it when I was probably about, I think I was 8 or 9. You know, I remember being around 84, so around 84, I think I was 9. And I read it, man. I decided I said, I'm going to get the Bible, man, and I'm going to just try to figure it out. And, man, I opened up the Bible, man, as a kid to Matthew 24, and I picked it up at verse 6. And I freaking lost my mind, bruh.
What's verse 6?
Verse 6 is, I think all these are the beginning of sorrow.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Let's see here. And the crazy thing about it, it went into, you know, we know Matthew 24 is talking about end time. You know what I'm saying? So when you bring that up, that's exactly, you know, that's definitely going to go in line with Revelation, you know? But it's more so rumors of wars, don't be troubled, this got to come to pass, the end is not yet. And then I just started there and I kept on going.
Yeah.
And I freaking lost my mind,
Yeah.
man. You know what I'm saying? Because I knew the Bible was real as a kid. You know, it's just something drew me to it.
Yeah.
And I realize now as we get older.
On my worst day, I don't care how ignorant I was, how retarded I was being, I would never kick against the Bible. Like,
yeah.
My folks taught me that much. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I always had that. You know, at the end of the day, especially when we start dealing with the super brews, like, you're not gonna tell me the Bible is wrong.
Right.
Right. Stop.
Right. That's not gonna work here, man.
Nah.
That
on my worst day.
Right. Right. Well, that's what's up, man.
Yes,
Brother
sir.
Chris, I'm definitely thankful, man, for you coming through.
Appreciate you, brother.
Yes, sir. To share your story with us, man.
Thank you.
I'm happy I finally got the opportunity to sit down with you, man, to tell your story. I look forward to being able to, you know, probably 6 months down the line, revisit, you know, just see how things are going. Maybe we can sit down with you and the wife.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know
She said she want to do one too.
Oh, well, she definitely can do hers.
Cool.
Let her know. Just let me know, and
Yes,
I'll be
sir.
more than happy to set it up. And then, like I said, about 6 months down the line, we revisit, and we can probably do you and her together.
Absolutely.
You know, I may do like a couples edition. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You just highlight husband and wife.
Okay.
Or, you know what I'm saying, 2 brothers or 2 sisters, or maybe I do something with you in college. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir. Cool.
You know, but I definitely want to thank you, man, and I want to definitely encourage you to stay faithful in this walk, stay faithful with God, man, and continue doing what you're doing, being a husband, father, you know what I'm saying, and setting an example, man. And I definitely want to tell you thank you once again.
Appreciate you, bro.
Absolutely.
Appreciate you.
All right, bro.
Yes, sir.